welcome to this Monday night's edition of the Lightgate. We're coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans in Louisiana at the United Public Radio Network at 107.7 FM and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast. We're on Facebook, we're on Roku, we're on Rumble, and we are on YouTube. I'd like to thank our Monday night sponsors. It's Monday night and it's Carnation night. Thank you guys. We've been with you for a while now. We love you very much. Y'all give them a try. Okay. It's going to be an interesting night. I do believe. Preston, what say you?
Well, I certainly hope it's an interesting night. Life is interesting anyway. All right. Yeah, I can't believe it. It's episode 171 of The Lightgate. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your co-host, Preston Dennett, author, researcher, and experiencer. And my lovely co-host in this direction is the lovely Dolly Safran. She's the subject of my book, Symmetry. And I've pretty much finished all the interviews. Just got to do the write-ups. Had some computer problems, which have slowed me down a little bit. If I suddenly pop off, you'll know why. Hopefully, we'll be good, though. And yeah, we're trucking right along. Things are going good. We had a really, really fun, wonderful, amazing guest last week, Polly Rotterman. If you didn't get a chance to check out her show, she's amazing. She's had some really tremendous experiences, and she's having a pretty big impact on the field. This was her second appearance on the Lightgate, and of course, all shows are archived so that you can watch them whenever you want. We also have a really nice guest planned for next week, Mike Ricksecker. He's a repeat guest coming for the second time, so that should be lots of fun as well. Our guest for tonight actually had to cancel at the last minute due to some unforeseen circumstances beyond his control. So we're going to reschedule him, and I can hardly wait. He's a completely new guest. I think it's two of them, actually. And we've got a very personal reason for bringing them on as well. So hopefully they'll get their stuff figured out, and we can bring them back on soon. So it's open mic night. We absolutely love doing these shows. We took the opportunity to have open mic night rather than scramble around for a guest. And we love doing this anyway, about once a month or so. We always have so much fun. You guys always deliver with the questions. So definitely first come, first serve. And as you know, with open mic night, we do a book giveaway. I will announce the rules at the top of the hour, so you probably already know. If you do, don't start submitting anything yet, because it's too overwhelming for me to do it for the whole 2 hours. But yeah, we'll get to that in just a bit. So let's see who we got going on today. We've got a nice, lovely crowd already. And I'll just say a quick hello because, again, because of you guys, we do this show. We have so much fun each Monday. So hopefully Duchess will make an appearance, and maybe even our kitty Trixie, who's looking at me like, what are you doing? Okay, we have Stargazer. How are you doing, Stargazer? I hope you're doing well. We've got Glad Geister. Thanks, both of you, for putting some questions in already.
Thank you. Yes.
And we appreciate that. Hello, Christy Cranford.
Christy.
Glad you could join us. Scarlet Fire with a bit of wisdom here from St. Augustine. I love that. Let's let the lions loose. Okay, Tim Houston. Glad you could join us as well.
G'day.
We got Teresa Levine. Love open mic nights.
Yeah, we
do too. It's a little more relaxed. We're not scrambling to see if our guest is going to come on. So it's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Tim Houston, thank you for joining us. Preston and Dolly have had some fascinating guests on this show. Yeah. We definitely have.
Very glad for that. Yep, absolutely.
We got the Owl Man. We
Yeah,
have
man. Hi.
Painting the Sky Kingdom. We have our lovely regular Louise from New Jersey. Hello, Louise. We love
Yep.
you dearly. Hope you're doing really well. And lots of other people. Get nervous, you guys. So don't leave me high and dry here. Okay, who else we have?
Clicking on people?
Cosmic Joe and
Hello.
Becky Duncan.
Hello.
And let's see, we have Fox Mulder. I'm going to star that question.
Yeah.
Okay, I do see some questions. Thank you, guys. Okay, let me just get a few more here and we'll get started. Hello, Audrey. Poetic Poems. Don't forget us this time. Yeah, I forgot last time. I love saying hi to you folks because, yeah, it's fun to interact. That's exactly what Q&A is all about.
Yeah.
So, hello, Marissa. And who else do we got? Brian Morgan, I think I already said. Maybe not. I can't remember.
Thank you.
Anyway, hello, Brian. And Astrid Gooder and Isabel and
hello.
SV Harkin. Yes, you're on time.
Yes, you are.
And
right at the
oh my goodness, Christopher Harmon. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Really, really appreciate that. As well as you, Namaste. Don't know how you do it. We absolutely are so thankful for your generosity. Scarlet Fire saying, hi, Dolly. It's so great to have you where you belong.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
We got Joe Glover. Okay, and here's another question. Becky Sloan. João Batista.
Hello.
Okay, Hanson, this is funny. I never have questions, only opinions. Eating spicy orange beef. Oriental tonight.
Good. I'm on a fast right now.
Hello, Oguzan. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely appreciate your generosity as well. Very, very nice of you. Hi, Sky Blue and Untomb and hello, Punk Ass. And I think it's really time for us to get started. Margaret Bailey, Dina.
Hey, Dina.
And we have, David. And looks like we got a bunch of people. Okay. Just going to Yoga with Denise, and one more. Happy McButterballs.
Oh my goodness.
Make me happy. I'm not sure why. Okay, definitely time to get started. And yes, we will be doing a book giveaway. The book is going to be right there, UFOs over Nevada. Once again, I will announce that in about 40 minutes. So, here's one more. Kenny Bunn. Hello, Dolly and Preston. Lots of love.
Hello.
So we're going to get your questions pretty much right away, but we usually just start out with us asking each other a question. So I guess I'll start, Dolly, and then if you remember the question I asked you to ask me.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Good memory.
So,
yeah.
This is something that we want to underline because it continues to be something that people keep asking about and wondering about, and that is, are ETs here on Earth right now? And if not, why not?
No, they are not. They have not been here since like August of 2022. The last of them left in. One of the reasons is that our entire solar system is going through contact with an electromagnetic current sheet. This is a normal natural phenomenon in the galaxy and all galaxies throughout the universe, and it's very powerful. One of the things that it does is that when the energy from it starts to hit the galaxy, the sun changes its polarity and all the planets flip their poles. They change their polarity at the poles as well. It's a huge pole shift going on. This is especially hard on our planet in our solar system because our planet has inside it, it's not homogeneous. It's got huge bubbles of magma. It's not a solid, core that's homogeneous. It's not all mixed up properly. It's got giant bubbles, and it makes one part of the planet weigh more than the other. It also has fractured mantles as well from years and years and years of going through this. It seems like every 14,000 years, when we do go through this galactic current sheet, it kind of gets worse. It started approaching and touching us way back in the 1800s. That's what happened with the Carrington event in 1859. The edge of that thing hit, and it was a huge smack when the two joined together, the outskirts of our solar system with that current sheet. And our sun popped one off that was big enough to make it through our magnetosphere and downed everything. And thank God we didn't have the technology now that we did then, because it would have made us all into the Stone Age with no recovery. Every year since then, since the Carrington event, it's been harder and harder and harder for ET to fly here, because our poles are magnetically changing, and that means all our energetic field lines that come from the center of our planet are getting whirly-durry and jerking around, and anomalies are happening because of it. It's gotten so bad that they started crashing really bad right about the time, like early 1900s, from this beginning of this event. And it came to the point where they could not fly here anymore. They had enough crashes. It's serious. Now, mankind has benefited and not benefited from this effect, because the crashes have been picked up by governments and it's been back engineered. They can't do the same technology that ET does, so they have approximations of their technology, not the same. And what you're seeing in the skies are back engineered craft, not ET. There are plenty of experts out there who can tell you this to your face. We keep bringing Michael Schratt on because he is one of the people who is sounding the alarm about this. There are others. There are other physicists who know the truth about this. We unfortunately are dealing with governments that don't want you to know the whole truth of everything. And it's getting bad. And the reason that they're trying to disclose, or not, I'm not going to say trying, forced to say anything, is because people are waking up and forcing them to say something. You're not going to hear the whole truth, though. When I talk about a false flag, it's because they're flying it. They want you to believe that what you see in the skies are ET, and I think they have an underhanded reason for it. That being said, the majority of the things that you need to look out for with this is reoccurring energetic earthquakes, huge ones, and constantly going to start getting worse, which we're actually witnessing now. Huge weather pattern changes. The core of the earth heated up to the point that it started melting the poles. We didn't do that. This did, this effect. We're heading for some pretty serious cataclysms. There was a 7.4 in near Bogota, Colombia, and hit a small town, but they felt it all the way out to the water and inland in a huge area, and lots of people have now perished. We don't know the whole story yet. We're still getting stuff, but it was in a populated area, and it was very, very bad. That's nothing compared to what we have coming. It's going to get worse. The big ones that we've seen lately are because not doing as much damage, just because they're out offshore, but it is now coming. The ring of fire is now amplifying, and it's going more closer inshore to where all our fault lines are. So y'all need to pay attention to that and think about what that means to you where you live.
Okay, I have a couple of questions that are coming in regards to this.
Okay.
What was the name of that event, please? The Carrington event?
The Carrington event, yes. 1859. Look it up. Carrington event.
And then there's another question that I saw here. Is this why CERN is off?
CERN is went off because they had planned obsolescence problems. You know, nothing lasts forever, especially in electronics. And when you're running things that big, it tends to break equipment down. So they have that going on. And they have new experiments to go, and they're reconfiguring for that. And they supposedly, where they're at, they're in a safe place, but I wouldn't call it completely out of range of an earthquake affecting it. So we'll see. But it is down because it needs repairing, and then remanaging it and reconfiguring it to do different experiments. Okay.
All right. And one more so far. This is from Joe Mapes. Is this related to this, Dolly? Many native chiefs in Alaska say the sun is not where it used to be in relation to the mountain peaks in the past. They claim
Yes.
the Earth is shifting. I heard about this, actually.
Yeah, the planet is already shifting to move. There's a whole cycle of events coming, and one of them is our planet is going to flop over. It's going to be another worldwide water event. But before that happens, there's going to be all kinds of terrible things coming. But yeah, we're already shifting. They've changed all the ALS equipment on every runway in the world over and over and over again. One as recently as about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, since I was about 17 years old. And it's over and over and over again. There are people who started paying attention in the 70s. They saw it then, and they started putting markers up and doing, and doing absolute pictures, and they've noticed it's moved several degrees. Yes.
All right. I think that's all the questions I see that's related directly to that. All right. Did you want to ask me my question?
All right. So you've been having some really, really interesting OBEs lately. We talk every day about them. And there was one a couple of days ago that got my attention. And I want you to tell everybody about it.
Yeah, I love doing the OBEs, as you guys know. And if any of you want to learn how to do them, I'm perfectly willing to help you do it. Please send me an email. I'll pop up my email right here, and I will send you a little 2-page guide that's very condensed with everything I've learned. It's basically got 6 steps or so that you can absolutely do this. And there's almost an endless list of possibilities when you go OBE. You can learn past lives. You can go visit enlightened masters. You can visit deceased loved ones. You can go to the Akashic records, learn about your own life, go to healing temples, schools of learning. I mean, it's honestly endless. You can visit any place on earth once you get good at it. That's a little bit harder. It was for me. But now, lately, every time I pop out, I am sort of overwhelmed because there's always someone there who's a lost soul. For whatever reason, I think they're coming to us because Dolly's got some mediumistic abilities. Or maybe it's me, I don't know. But I've been rescuing a lot of lost souls, and I came out of body. It's not something I can do quite at will unless I really decide, tonight I will do it. It just kind of now happens spontaneously 3-4 times a month, usually in the very early morning hours. And it did. And I went into the living room and hoping to, try to get to the other side because that's where all the fun is. But there was a guy there, and I'm like, well, here we go again. There was actually a number of people there, so I picked one, a very tall, slender gentleman, and Dolly got me into the habit of asking for information to help verify who these folks are. So I always ask, who are you? How old are you? When did you die? And this sort of thing. And so I walked right up to him and said, hi, what's your name? And he gave me this real suspicious look and said, why do you need to know my name? That's the first time anyone has ever responded that way.
Chicken, I'll be right back. Have fun.
All right. Yeah. Sometimes they will say things like, they don't know their name, or they'll just tell me their name, or their friend will be there and they'll tell me their name. But this guy was very wary of me for some reason. And I told him, well, basically, you're not supposed to be here. Would you like me to cross you over to the other side? And he said, okay, surprisingly, without any fuss. And I took him by the hand. And once you learn how to cross someone over or just get to the other side, it's a natural thing. You just set the intention to go to the other side. And that's what I did. And usually when I do that, people will go to what I would call the heavenly realms or the garden realms, where it's beautiful and there's not a shadow in sight. It's just lovely fields and flowers and forests and streams and other people. That's not what happened in this case. I took him as high as I could get, which turned out to be the next lowest realm, which is somewhat like a beautiful hotel, like the Bellagio, with mosaic floors and fountains and beautiful plants everywhere. And we came in for a landing on this terrace, and there was who I perceived to be his father, and I'm guessing sister. I don't know. They didn't tell me, but they looked absolutely shocked when I brought this guy in, and they came rushing up and looked at me with amazement, and then looked at this guy I'd brought in and rushed up and hugged him and looked at me with thanks and gratitude. And I'm like, oh, okay. And off I went. So yeah, this is another reason you can learn OBEs, because it's incredibly gratifying to help people like this. And it happens all the time. All right, Dolly has left me on my own, so I'm going to start with the first question, and I will start getting to all of these soon. I hear Dolly coming in, actually. So hold on a second. Here we are. Okay. Stargazer. With all the horrible things happening today, are aliens involved in it? I would not say so. I don't think that ETs are responsible for the issues that we are experiencing here on this planet, which are many, of course: poverty and divisiveness, war and aggression, pollution, and all this stuff. And of course, the natural disasters, the inequality of wealth. I think ETs are involved only to the extent that they've tried to warn people about this. So my answer in a nutshell is no. Dolly, do you have any comment with that?
No, not at all. None of it. You have to look at history. In this last 12,000-year iteration, there have been no interference by aliens in societies on this planet. And there's a huge reason for it. We got a strong, determined group of people in this iteration, and lots to work out. And they've done what they can. They've sent people as teachers. They've shown themselves. They've tried to talk to world leaders, but that to no avail. And they've done those kinds of things, but they have not interfered in any way, shape, or form, or caused us any problems in any way, shape, or form. The majority of their messages have literally been stop with nukes, stop with the nuclear radiation and nuclear energy production that we have. It is going to destroy us. We're going to destroy ourselves with it. They're very worried about us that way.
Hold on, I'm just testing the microphone because someone said that I must be knocking it. So I'll try to be more careful. Thanks. Whoever that I can't find you now. Okay. Oh, that was Shannon. I hope it sounds better, Shannon. I think I was messing around with my cord.
I will say this. There's a lot of people who believe that they're here now and they're interacting with the government and they're giving them all kinds of stuff. That's the biggest load of crock and BS on the planet there is. It's all misinformation, disinformation. It's made to mess with your minds. Please don't go there. They don't have anything to do with humanity on this planet in that way, in any way, shape, or form. They're not giving secrets away to the government. They're not allowing us to be abducted. None of that. No, not at all.
All right. Yeah, other comments in my mic. Sorry, guys. I hope it's good now. Let me know. All right. Oh my gosh, this question. Glad Geister. I've heard OBEs practitioners say the Earth is flat. For this, I felt they were exceedingly credible. What are they seeing? An unwitting manifestation? A misinterpreted realm? Or is there any truth to this?
No.
Yeah.
Zero. You have to understand, life on a planet's different from being outside your body, outside of the realm of everything. You know, you're not in this dimension when you go OBE. You leave, and nothing is the same. There is no planet for you to be on to say it's flat. No, not at all. And if they could walk around on the planet like it's a ghost or whatever, they would see that it's still round. So I don't know what they're telling you. I think they're full of it. Okay, just saying.
Yeah, I can only echo Dolly, because one of the first things I did when I started having OBEs was fly straight up as high as I could go into outer space and look down on the globe. And it's very cool. It's absolutely a globe. It's not perfectly round. It's slightly squashed, oblate. But yeah, it's 100% not flat, but it's very cool because when you're on the other side, it's not really a planet as you would think of it. It's a realm. And I got curious about that. I went to the very edge and it was just cloudy and unformed. Inchoate is a word I would use, which I had to look up when I first read it, which is basically, it's just like the edge of a watercolor painting, kind of.
Right.
I don't know how to describe it.
You lose gravitational, you lose all gravity when you're outside of your body, and the planet in the third dimension is gravity heavy. So everything looks very solid and has, edges and borders and everything like that. And when you're outside of that, you lose that perspective. So you don't see the heaviness of the energy that's holding it all together in the third dimension. That's why.
I'm looking at some other really good questions here. Okay. Yeah. Moving to the next one. Let's see. I'm curious about the names of the ETs that dress like the Michelin Man. I don't know their names. This is something that does appear fairly regularly. There's a guy who wrote a book. They're called Bindendum or something like that. Bidendum. But that's our name. This is a type of ET outfit, I would say, sort of like an astronaut suit that is regularly reported all over the world, looking very much like the Michelin Man. But ETs do have names. I did a whole chapter on that in my book, Not From Here, Volume 5. There were names like Nelda, Kevin, Qualar, Quai, of course, Quadzga, Betty Andreasen's ET. Can't really think of any others offhand, but I know Dolly.
Micha. It's one of my friends. And Mama has a name, but I'm not allowed to say it. And Talata that's the name I give him. It's a small part of his name. His name almost sounds Icelandic, and it's really, really hard to pronounce. So I just call him Talata. Stuff like that. And they do have names, and I know a lot of their names, but I'm not at liberty to repeat them to anybody because we do stupid things with information, just saying. We make a big deal out of it, or we call power to it somehow, whatever. This is not the way it should be. So no, I'm not going to tell you all their names.
Okay. Well, this is just a comment from Colin Crisp. I've had OBEs. It's not flat. Can't believe people say that. Math doesn't work either. They also say the stars are fixed. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, stars are not fixed. We're constantly moving through the universe, just like every other planet and solar system and galaxy. We're all spiraling around. So no, no.
Okay. Painting the Sky Kingdom. Yes, there is a book giveaway tonight. We're almost there. 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're still your sound is coming in and out, and I don't know what that is.
Really?
I think it's your mic. I think it's the signals wavering for some reason.
Well, I'll see if I can fix that in a second. Hold on, let me bring in the next question, and I'll work on my mic. This is from Louise. With this fascinating solar eclipse upon us on the 12th, do you get some positive energy for this great community? Solar eclipses are always fun.
Yeah. It's going to be glorious to watch. Not everybody gets to see the eclipse, but everybody gets to see the conjunction of 3 planets, okay, in the sky. That's worth the show. Buy a ticket to that show. Go outside and watch that happen. As far as changing or altering things of life on Earth, the only effects a solar eclipse has are local. In other words, wherever the eclipse is happening, animals, it gets dark, so they get confused about what's going on. The change in temperature is dramatic in some places, very dramatic. Everything tends to get quiet. It affects our mesosphere. In other words, some transmissions, radio transmissions, data transmissions can get garbled up during that period of time because it's weird how the energy of the moon blocking the sun's light on the Earth can send the mesosphere into, because of the temperature change and the waves of energy that go through the clouds and everything, it can really mess that up. It doesn't cause earthquakes. It doesn't cause things. Nobody's coming from above, that kind of thing. It's just all natural things that occur during an eclipse. And United States is only going to get a very small portion of it. Most of it's going through Europe this time. So, but do go see the stars. It's very, very cool. And no, the nobody's losing gravity. Okay, there's not going to be 7 seconds of no gravity. That is not true. Okay.
Sorry, that one's funny to me.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along. This is related to what we were just talking about as far as ETs not being here. This is from D-Man. My question, I really want to know what to think about the recent crop circles in Wiltshire. They're too complex to be man-made, yet Dolly has said many times that ETs are not here right now.
Right. Well, there are no crop circles coming from ET right now. You understand that we've learned a lot from them, especially those who back engineered our energy capabilities have very changed dramatically. And those who have technology that you don't know about are capable of making their own crop circles. And whether they're complex or not has nothing to do whether they're ET or not. We can be very complex. Look. AI is way smarter than you or anybody else on this planet right now. And they can come up with some very complex things. So no, they are not here. They're not making crop circles. And I guarantee you it's back engineered technological stuff that they all know that you don't. Okay.
Okay. Questions are coming in fast and furious. Thanks, guys. Fox Mulder, that's a hard one. Fox Mulder asks, what's a question you haven't been asked but want to answer?
Yeah, that's a really okay.
Can we come back to that one?
Give me a minute to think about that one.
Yeah, I'll have to come back to that one because I honestly I like the question. So yeah, I'll ruminate on that.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it starred, so it is a good one. Okay, Marissa asks, hi Preston, hi Dolly, how are you? We're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're having fun. That's why we're here. Okay. That's a good question. I liked it. It's an easy one. All right. This is from ET or Human. That sounds like a good game show, actually. Has anyone ever experienced seeing two UFOs release two smaller ships which shot solid red and blue beams of light at each other interchangeably?
That's back engineered BS. I don't know.
I haven't heard that. I do know that UFOs will occasionally flash light at each other or at people. As far as beams, solid blue and red, don't know that I've actually ever heard that.
Mm-mm.
So I'm going to say no for now, but I certainly keep an eye out for anything like that. Thank you, ET or Human. All right. Great question from David. How long do hybrids live? And what kinds of hybrids exist?
Well, my grandmother is probably a hybrid. My great-grandmother, and she lived to be 103. My father, who was at war multiple times and lived a really, really tough life, made it to 81. That was pretty good. I am still working on it. I am 68 years old right now. These are the only ones I know about. So I don't know. Do you know any?
I feel like we're all hybrids. While I understand that people talk about hybrids, it's a little bit of a misnomer because we're all essentially sharing the same ancestry.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't call a child who has black parents and white parents or Latino or what have you a hybrid.
Let's differentiate it right now. If we're talking about hybrids on Earth, that is all up to what exists here and on you when you're alive. I'm subject to the same fallacies that you are. I mean, if I fall 50 stories, I'm going to die. Somebody shoots me in the heart, I'm going to die. Things like that. We're breakable. All human beings are breakable. Hybrids on the other side of it, though, with ET, I have 4 hybrid children, and I know 2 of them could very well live into the thousands, and because of who they are, and the other 2 maybe hundreds. So we'll see. You know, just depends.
Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. I see a little bit of a discussion here in the chat that's getting a little rough. Be considerate and compassionate, guys, or we will have to boot you. All questions are fair, but compassion and kindness is required. All right. What's this? How about a Q&A the other way? Call it a pop quiz for those in chat. All right.
Wait a minute. I'm going to back up what Preston said. If I see it, you're gone. Keep doing it and you're instantly gone. I will take you out. Do not do it in this channel. We're not here to listen to your issues. Goodbye. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Dolly. All right. What is your favorite case? Well, I hate having to pick a single favorite case, but I have to go back to the Betty and Barney Hill case. They're such lovely people. They never planned to come forward with their encounter in the White Mountains of New Hampshire in 1961. It was their personal experience that was leaked, essentially, and they were forced to talk about it, and it ended up being such a watershed, landmark moment in UFO history, which really changed the way we think about this subject. So that one is going to be my favorite case. But I would also say Dolly's case, because it's the most extensive, really, that I've ever heard. And she helped me understand a lot of things that I had questions about. So I don't know if, Dolly, you have a favorite case or not.
I like Travis Walton for multiple reasons. One of them being that I'm able to tap you and listen to what you think. And when I first heard the story, I had just started coming out to Preston, so I was catching up with everything, and I read about him, and I was horrified to hear what they did in that movie. I have 2 relatives who told me, don't watch the movie, you'll get mad. And I unfortunately watched part of the movie and I got mad. Hollywood decided to take what he said and add their own bent on it, and it was incorrect. He's had multiple chances to tell the truth, and he's even taken lie detector tests and everything that I've heard him in his head, he's telling you 100% the truth. And some of the things that he's saying or said then were dead on. So yeah, I believe Travis Walton completely. I think it's a very important case. It's not just because it's well known, it's because how it happened. It goes to show something that I've been trying to tell Preston, that those craft are dangerous. If you get near them, you're going to get hurt. And he did, and it proves the point, you know. That kind of radiation and that kind of energy that they put out are not safe for a human being to be under, touch, nothing. And they don't land for those reasons. And somehow this one came down low for a reason. Maybe it had problems or whatever. And Travis, being the curious guy he was, touched it. I don't know if it was an accident. He may have tripped. I don't know. But yeah, it happened to him. And they were good enough to bring him back from that and give him a chance to keep on living. And that's speaks to who they are. And that's why I like that case. It's one of my favorite cases. It's got all the bells and whistles in it.
Cool. All right. I just did ban somebody, so you know who you are. Moving along. This is a good one from Audrey. I hear fasting helps with contact. Is it just that cleansing the toxins makes you more high vibe? Any other information on that would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm just going to give it to you point blank. I would fast for 24 to 48 hours before contact because it made it easier for my microbiome not to be a problem for them. They are extreme germaphobes, and it was courtesy to them. And I ate their food when I was with them to protect them from me as well. So you go, Preston. You have your take on it.
Yeah, I think that there's some truth to that. I hesitate to say that that's a hard and fast rule because people all over the world are being contacted, and some of them certainly probably ate the night before or were in the middle of dinner even. But I know that Sisto Paz Wells, who we had on the show, talked about this and would bring people to groups and have them fast for 3 days, or essentially go vegetarian and drink, fruits and no smoking, no alcohol, nothing like that. And he said this helped get the right, quote, energies to facilitate contact. So I think there is something to it. Absolutely.
The healthier your own energy field is, you have your own energy field, and the healthier it is when you have contact, the better off the contact goes. That's what they mean by energy, ET, when they tell you that. They want you as healthy as possible, and fasting is very healthy for you to do once in a while. Humans are made that way. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Goodness gracious, these comments are coming in fast. Questions. Okay, I'm still trying to think of what question you haven't been asked but want to answer. Gosh, that's a hard one. I might have to do that for the next Q&A. I hope I come up with a good answer before this is done, but I'll keep thinking, Fox. All right, let's see here. Oh, this is a repeat question. We already asked that.
Oh, I got one. I've always wondered what people think of, I've talked about being on the Tall Gray's homeworld, okay? And nobody's ever asked me, what does their sun look like from there? Nobody's even come up with that question. And every now and then I think about it and I go, oh, no, they're just not interested, I guess. Or maybe they don't realize that that's a really good question to ask. Their planet is in the Goldilocks zone, but they have less gravity than we do. It's a bigger planet too, which is a really interesting thing. And when you look at their sun from their planet, it is a little bit, because they're not tilting like we are. You see the sun from there in a different position than you would the Earth seeing the sun. It's very interesting. And high noon for them is not really like straight up and down. You don't lose your shadow at all. And their days are slightly longer than ours as well. So it's very cool. The brightness of it is even better because it's not quite totally yellow. They have a little bit more brightness to their sun than we do, which is interesting to me as well. That's one of them.
All right. I see someone trying to reach out to me. You can reach out to me via my email, which I flashed on. It's prestonufo@gmail.com. So let me see. I can't start these questions fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This next one is for you, Dolly. Dolly, you are absolutely glowing. What's up?
I'm fasting. I'm fasting. Just talking about it. I'm fasting. I'm 2 days into fasting, and yeah, I'm, what's up? Also, y'all might as well know about this. Next Monday, I probably won't be on the show. Michelle's going to come and sit in for me. Friday, I'm having surgery on my eyes. One of the things y'all know about me is that I do have a lot of Asian blood. I'm part Japanese and Korean, and I have eye folds. And a lot of times people with eye folds, the eyes start drooping as you get older and you get more skin up there. As a result, it keeps growing for some reason. And I've lost my peripheral vision. I only have vision out to here right now, and I need it back to here to be able to drive. And the doctor took one look at my face and went, oh, yeah, you need this. Because my other eye doctor said, go to this guy. He's going to look at you. And he did. And he was like, yeah, there's not a hard decision. You're going to get it done. So, yeah, Friday. And it might take me a week or two to get over it. So you won't see me next Monday. But that's why I'm fasting. I'm getting my energy fields and my physicality really beefed up for that surgery. Because they're going to put me under. Okay.
All right. I'm just banning the other problem child. You guys, I don't understand. If you don't want to watch the show, no need to be nasty. So every now and then, these things happen. Sorry, folks, but these two people have been bad.
I know everybody. Okay, I want to tell y'all a secret. This is a big secret for y'all, and hopefully you'll hear it and go, oh well, I already realized that. Every single show, every single podcast that's on, the guests go two different ways. One of them goes the way that we're going, and that is the type of show that it is, and that is that we're an open source of information to you that we vet highly, highly vet. And there's a reason for that, because we do not want to promote things that we categorically know are not true. That's the first thing about our show. The second thing about our show is that this is a place where openness, love, charity, wisdom, peace, all of that resides. And if you can't be peaceful on this program, if you have to have something to say that's negative, we will ban you, permanently ban you. First, we'll take you off. You come back, do it again. You're gone. You're gone forever. Okay. And that's because why would we waste our time dealing with that while we have plenty of people in here who have genuine desire to know what's going on? And we're trying to provide that to the best of our abilities from what we know and understand, and have to deal with that. So don't. If you don't want to watch the show, don't watch. It's called turn it off. Go away. If you're that triggered by what we say, go check yourself out and find out why you're so triggered. That's all I got to say. All right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, love is the answer. If you're not having fun, probably go find a place you can have fun. Right. And if that's your idea of fun, well, God bless you. All right. That's all I got to say about that. And I'm moving on to the next question, which is terrific, actually. 3.5 shadows. Dolly, do other planets have mosquitoes?
That's an interesting question. Yeah, insects have evolved in the universe. It's part of the third dimension. It helps the balance of nature. There are animals that absolutely eat these things. So yeah, they're in ecosystems everywhere, all over the universe. Sure, there are. Yep.
I hope they're not as big as, pigeons.
No. Male mosquitoes here are ginormous. You've been able to see the difference. The females are little teeny things, and the males are giant mosquitosaurs. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
You were talking about the planet where the grays are. Is that a lot of the life forms are bigger? So are these much larger mosquitoes then?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
they have bigger beetles, and they have this thing that looks like a palmetto, cockroach here. Only there it's like this. Don't want to be out for it.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Moving along. What is the science of astrology?
It's a pseudoscience. I'm being honest with you. Okay. It is a pseudoscience. It's not a true science. It is a pseudoscience. And I need you all to go look what that is. I'm not going to explain it to you right now. It's your homework tonight. Go look up pseudoscience and understand what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah. My opinion on it is that there's some validity to it in terms of has to be done correctly. These fortune cookie type horoscopes are pure fun. There's no real science there. But I think ultimately when people are a good astrologer, they're using it as a tool in much the same way
their abilities.
Someone would use a crystal ball. Yeah, it's their own intuitive psychic abilities.
Right. It's a tool.
So, yeah. All right, 3.5 shadows. Thank you. You got 3 full questions in a row. 3.5 shadows. I love this question. How to deal with the frustration of slow psychic progress? Exercise. Put it aside. Listen to music. Go out to nature. Play with your friends. Do whatever it is that you have procrastinated and get it done.
I got some information for you about that. Okay, I want everybody to hear this. When you're learning how to ride a bike, you think about riding a bike. You want to ride the bike. You got a tricycle first. A lot of people do, and they're watching everybody ride a bike, and they want to get on the bike and they want to go. And it takes a little bit of work, physicality to get that done. Psychic, and most people achieve it within a couple of days of, some in one day, boom, they're going because they have good physicality. Psychic ability is always around you. It's always there. It's not the same thing. You just have to let the volume turn up. And the only way to do that is to shut up and listen. If you're always in your head and talking to yourself about it and telling yourself, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this, you're not going to do it. Just let it happen. That's all you have to do. You have to practice the precepts of it by meditating, allowing information to come into you, and then writing down what you've accomplished in it in a daily journal. After about, I don't know, 6 months, you're going to look back and go, oh, wow, I got better. I got really better. And one day you'll wake up and realize I can command my ability now. And when I say command, I mean not doing it when you want to do it. It's a 24/7 thing that happens to you. I can't turn this off. I live in it. I swim in a pool of psychic ability. Everything that happens to me in life is because I'm psychic. I hear everything and see everything all at the same damn time. And I'm used to it, though. It's going to take you a little bit of time to get used to noticing which is psychic and which is what you're hearing, smelling, or tasting physically. Get used to it. It'll happen. But you have to shut up and let it happen. Don't worry about it. Stop worrying. As long as you keep doing that, you're never going to do well. Keep it copacetic. And if you have to walk around with a little notebook in your back pocket, do that. But it's not something you practice for 5 minutes. It's an all-day affair, all day and all night. You're psychic. Allow the psychic to happen all day and all night, everywhere you go, whatever you do.
Yeah, and I would just add, relaxation is the key to all things. People who excel at sports know this. They just relax into it. Just relax. It will happen. You can't force a flower to bloom. You just got to give it light and water and let it grow. And I think psychic ability, fun exercises, have fun with it, and it will happen. It can be frustrating. Anyone who's trying to learn a computer program or a musical instrument or a foreign language knows how frustrating it can be. It takes some time and effort. Just keep at it. Persistence is the key to success. All right,
I know
hope that helps.
Is messing up. We're taking some energy right now. Big time. I can feel it hitting.
All right.
It's solar wind.
Okay, Cosmic Joe, you're next in line. Oh no, wait a second before I pop that up. Let's do our book giveaway. Ooh. Every time we do a Q&A, we do a book giveaway. And here's how it works. We're giving away 3 books. The contest is only for live listeners. The winner of the contest, winners, will be announced at the top of the hour. And how the contest works is each person gets to guess one number between 1 and 1,000. And I know that's a lot, but this gives you a chance to exercise your psychic abilities. Dolly and I both know what the psychic number is. I'm looking at it right now. The psychic number, the secret number. It is a psychic number. So yeah, one guess only per viewer, and the 3 closest will win the book, UFOs over Nevada. If you already have the book, you can certainly request another one, or even if you really just want another one, I'm open to that as well. But yeah, that's it. One guess only, a number between 1 and 1,000. And meanwhile, I'm going to pop up the next question for you, Dolly. And
okay,
I will try to answer it if I can. Let's see here. Poetic poems. Question. Preston, there are many types of ETs. Do you believe that some ETs are living within many dimensions? I'll just answer real quickly before I hop onto recording your numbers that yes and no. I think we have ETs who have access to other dimensions, but I think they're people very much like us. We are interdimensional, and I will say that there are probably little people who live on our planet who are extra-dimensional or interdimensional, gnomes, fairies, elves, this sort of thing. But that's how I would answer it. And now I got to go. I got to start getting at these guesses. So.
Okay. Okay, so we live in the 3rd dimension, and it's very gravity heavy here, and we're corporeal. You know, we have bodies, we have circulation, we have blood, all of that gray matter, all of that. And the reason that we think we're solid is because of that. We're actually made of light, just like everything else. But it's so gravity heavy, and the way our eyes work and our brain works, we only see within a range of possibilities. So what we see is what we get here. When we live almost into the fourth dimension as well. I mean, we're heading toward it. Once you get into the fifth dimension, corporeality diminishes. And I'm not saying that correctly. Most beings in the fifth, all of them are non-corporeal beings because there's not enough gravity there for them to hold together enough to have a corporeal body. And they are light beings. And you've seen them. A lot of people have seen them. They think they're looking at angels. They think they're looking at guardian angels. They think they're looking at ghosts. A lot of ghosts are actually fifth dimensional beings that you're looking at. If you're really, really psychic and you have that ability, you can differentiate between the two. Once you get into the sixth dimension, really interesting things begin to happen to life past the fifth dimension. In the sixth dimension, they are so advanced that they're almost connected to source at the same time. It's sort of like sources their umbilical cord to what they are in the sixth dimension. It's an interesting thing to think about. There are 12 dimensions, okay? And the 12th one is, if you want to know who the all mind is, live in the 12th. And you'll probably be able to speak to the all mind on a personal basis. We have a lot to learn to do that. We're here to graduate and become, elevate our intelligence, our wisdom, our knowledge. We have all the knowledge we want in source with the all mind, but we haven't lived it. And that's what the dimensions are for, to give us all a chance to make that connection with the all mind on a personal level. I don't know anybody who's made it that far. I'm only in the third dimension. I can think about it though. I can also think about the fact that if I want to leave here when I'm done here and not come back here and end up in the fifth dimension, I'm thinking about that lately too. That's one of my desires, to be hopefully wise enough to make that journey into that new place that I could be born into that. The vastness of our galaxy, our universe is incredible. And it's like the hard drive of the whole mind, all mind. I mean, it's the hard drive. Everything hard is first, second, and third dimension going into the fourth. That's the mainframe if you're thinking about a computer. And then everything else, consciousness and all of that, is the programming that goes into that so that we all can be here and what we used to be here. ETs that you see, the ones that you see are coming here, mostly 90% of them are third dimensional beings, but they have advanced to the point that fifth dimensional beings took notice of them and they were able to communicate with each other, and they started working together to do the things that they do. And you can't even imagine the interesting things you can learn in that kind of a relationship with somebody. All the craft are alive. They're constructed, biological craft that take on the energetic consciousness of fifth dimensionals who come in here with the craft to help those of us in the third dimension that are advanced enough to go and do things with them. And it's incredible what they do. They don't have the same designs of life that we have. They don't have the same plans for themselves. They don't think of what we think of. Their lives consist mostly of an advancement of knowledge that oversees us by billions of years. Neither do they look down on us, because we are still here. We can be born into any dimension we want to if you're ready for it. And while you're in the third dimension, you can be born into any part of the universe you want to be born into. And we're not locked here at all. There is no set number of ETs. I find that disturbing when I hear that, like I hear 68 21. Everybody's so sure how many ETs are coming to see us, and it's a fallacy to think in those terms because it's not true. None of it. I've
All right,
seen
I'm
many
ready to
different types
go.
of ETs, but okay.
If you want to close out. But yeah, I mean, you can call them different types, and as long as you're willing to call people on Earth different types. And really, are we? The one main message ETs give over and over again to contactees is, we are one. I am you, you are us, we are one.
Right.
And all entities are interdimensional. And plants, frankly, because you can see trees on the other side. And it's amazing how interconnected we all truly are. So I think it's good news ultimately. I don't know. Someone said my question was not important enough. Did I delete your question? If I skipped your question, I'm dreadfully sorry. Please feel free to resubmit it, because I think I popped one up and then I might have deleted it, and I don't remember what it was. At any rate, if I haven't answered your question, please do feel free to resubmit it. I wonder if there's a show after ours tonight. Do you think, Dolly?
No clue. I'd have to ask Michelle.
Yeah, can you pop her a note real quick?
Yep.
Because there's no way we're going to get all through these questions, and we can certainly go over if we're allowed to. Meanwhile, I'll move to the next question, which is from D-Man. Can you time travel in an OBE? Kinda, yes. You can go much more easily than the future, visit the past, very much in the same way a near-death experiencer has a life review. In fact, this is one of the great benefits of going OBE, is you can go through your entire past and really take a close look at it. And there is something about seeing the future too, because when I started having OBEs, almost always I'd come back and I'd have a precognitive dream. Or I know, Dolly, we've talked about that term, precognitive. Maybe just a cognitive dream, or a dream. They used to call it dreaming true. I like that term, actually. But yeah, you could see what we would perceive to be future events. So there's something to that. What do you think, Dolly? Can you time travel in OBE?
When you go extra dimensional, it's not traveling in time. It's you're out of space time. In other words, it doesn't exist anymore. You're outside of it, and everything that is, was, or will be is all there, all at the same time. And so you can tap any part of that. What you learn from it is interesting, because you're not coming back here to use that information. You're just looking at it. ET doesn't use that information either. So it's not traveling back in time. I've gone OBE with Preston a couple of times and taken him to the dinosaur age. I took him to the
That's right. Oh, we're glitching.
You're in that happened, but no, you're not time traveling at all. It's just that it's all already there. Now, while you're in the third dimension here, you cannot leave with this body and go back in time. You'll die. It doesn't exist. Everything but behind you does not exist. You only exist in the moment you're at. Everything before you hasn't happened yet, so it doesn't exist yet either. Think that one through.
Yeah. The best way to answer that question is for yourself to go OBE and try it out. And you absolutely can do it. Okay, here's a great one from Marissa, and I'm really glad you asked this. I'd like to ask about what happened in Colares, Brazil in 1977. What was the reasons that happened from the aliens' POV? Why did they do what they did to them? Sorry, that was hard for me to read. The Colares, Brazil incident is world famous. This is a small island where suddenly there was a wave of sightings where UFOs were sending down beams of light and essentially injuring people. And this got worldwide publicity. Jacques Vallée talked about it, Bob Pratt, a bunch of researchers. I did a deep dive on this, and I think what we're looking at actually is a false flag. In fact, there was a major researcher who ultimately concluded that, and I believe he met with an untimely end when he started to talk about this. I'm not convinced that those were ETs doing it. They called them chupas or chupa chupa. So I think that there was real activity going on at that time because there were some reports of humanoids and such. But I'm not convinced that those particular ones, because a few people lost their lives, were actually ET.
Correct. ET
All
doesn't
right.
do that.
So I hope that answers your question,
They
Marissa.
did have that engineered craft at that time. They really did.
It's a pretty controversial incident, and my position is somewhat controversial, but I'm sticking to it.
Michael
People have
Stratton
asked
on it. Actually, go get his book and read about it. Okay.
Yeah. People have asked me about human mutes. And I'm just going to use that word mute because you probably know what I mean. And there's 10, 20 cases of those. And people are like, why haven't you ever covered those on your channel? Because why would I cover a case that's not ET? That's not what I'm interested in. No, I don't think that's ET's doing it. We have nefarious elements on this planet who are trying very hard and have a big toolbox to paint ETs as our enemies. And I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Marissa. Lovely question from D-Man. Preston, did you ever come across in your OBEs someone who was assassinated like JFK? Not really. I have never met a famous person. Have to say I haven't really gone looking. I will say I did seek out Art Bell and found him, and he basically gave me the brush off and said he was not doing that, involved in that anymore. And really, I wasn't able to see him. He had someone who said, no, he's really not into it. I've never tried that. I will tell you, I came out of body once, and one guy did use that word. He says, I was assassinated. They killed me with poison candy. And apparently he was involved in some espionage thing going on. I really didn't ask any other questions than that. But yeah, he did use that term. I don't know. Have you ever met anyone, Dolly, OBE, that would fit that bill? That you can talk about?
I'm not talking about it. I'll bring up the fact that you told me once that you were looking for Jesus and he did show up and ask you what?
He didn't say anything. He just sent his love.
Okay. He did show up, though. That's the point. Okay.
Yeah. Well, after several attempts. So, and it was really quite surprising. All right. Moving along. I'm just going to pop this up because it warms my heart. Ace of Hearts. I just got your book, Preston. I started reading it tonight and got halfway through page 1, and then you went live out of body exploring a beginner's approach. A beginner's approach.
Yeah.
Synchronicity. It's funny, I've done some seminars on OBEs, and one person came up to me because it was planned a week or two in advance and sent out flyers and all that. This was a long time ago. And they had an OBE the night before they came to the seminar for the first time. Sometimes all you need to do is know that this is possible and give it a try. It's not hard to do. It's a very easy, natural human ability that all it takes is really the desire to do it, the effort. So that's very cool. D-Man, did your house look exactly the same during an OBE as it does normally? No, not always. There are weird differences. A few times I've come out and there's different furniture, or the room might be longer than it is or wider. I don't even know how to explain that, Dolly. But yeah, no, it's not always exactly the same. How would you, what's the reason going on there? Maybe you have insight into that, because I really don't. It's interdimensional, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll be and I'll go to a home that I used to live in and look around and it's changed. And that's because it changed. I'm looking at it in real time and it's changed. It's not my home. And then I've come out here in the middle of the night sometimes and I've seen things that don't belong there. They're in the way of my stuff. And I point blank had to step back and think crucially, am I imagining it? Am I dreaming over it? What, And I made a point of trying to just see it for what it really was. And then I realized I was outside the dimensional space, that I was looking at a dimensional habitat of something living dimensionally with me. We were superimposed upon one another. And I was like, wow. And it gave me pause, because when I came back the next day, I spent the entire day walking around that room going, wow, they're here. Whoa. And it freaked me out for a little while. But I'm okay with it now. It's like, okay, we all live together. Woohoo. So, yeah.
I'm just emailing Michelle to see if we can go over.
Yeah, she hasn't answered me. She's probably doing something.
All right, I'm not sure if I'll get an answer, but I'm going to give it a try. All right, moving on to the next question here. I've got like 40 lined up. This is from Jude. Hi, Jude. What are all the orbs that are being seen?
Y'all, yeah, we've got a lot of energetic things going on our planet right now. And one of them is the fact that we have so much energy coming in from the sun and from our core that you're going to see little orbs running around that are electric, and or you could be seeing more of the ability to see into almost the fifth dimension, or you're seeing ghosts running around. When everything is electrified, the energy around you is, amplified. It kind of makes it interesting for you to see what's really going on right in front of you. They're not ETs. We also have back engineered orbs, and people are seeing them, and they are very specific. And they are not the ones that are floating around your house. They're not the ones in your backyard. Okay, those are not. Those are more natural phenomena that you're seeing. And when I say natural, I mean energy that's coming through that you're able to see. And it's not ET.
Yeah, I have to agree. We have this technology. People can still see orbs that represent, genuine contact. That's more of a spiritual realm. And definitely ghosts and spirits can appear as an orb, and ETs too. But what's flying around New Jersey and all over the place is, I don't believe personally, my assessment, ET. I think we're dealing with reverse engineered technology and drones and things like this.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, someone's bringing up the Brazilian face peelers. More than likely dark secret forces. Exactly. Yep. I 100% agree. Okay. Another very good question. Mind you guys, I'm doing this in order. So this is from Dina. Your opinions, Dolly and Preston. What are the relationships among ETs, biblical angels, and Saints Virgin Mary sightings? Well, we all know about the Fatima incident in Portugal in 07, something like that, which I think what we're dealing with is a society that was profoundly religious at that time. There are now modern ufologists who are looking at that and pointing out that, well, they were describing this metallic-looking craft and little flakes that came down, sound like angel hair. They said they could feel the heat from this thing. So I think what we have is a lot of situations where a person's own belief system and culture plays a role in how you perceive things. Now, as far as the Saints and Virgin Mary sightings, there's clearly something to that. I don't know enough about it. I haven't really done a deep dive to say, oh, that's definitely Mother Mary or not. I know that some of them are clearly pareidolia. I mean, there was this one image on a store window that was bringing crowds of people, and it was simply...
That was in Florida, Tampa. My daughter's great grandmother, got a picture of it and sent it to me. She goes, look! I was like, okay, yep. I'm sorry. I also went to Conyers, Georgia during the time that the Virgin Mary was supposed to be coming there too on the 13th of the month. And it was a scam, a big scam. So I'm woefully Unless you're there and you can see it for yourself, don't believe everything right off the bat. If you can't prove it one way or the other, just leave it as an open-ended question in your mind. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to say everyone who thought they saw angels were seeing ETs or vice versa, because there are spiritual entities, interdimensional entities that save people's lives. And I think there's a lot of labeling going on, which, of course, we like to do. It helps us understand the world, or we like to think it helps us understand the world. I'm not sure it's always a useful tool, but it's something we definitely like to do. I do think there's a lot of beings going on, and there are some really interesting commonalities between some of them, because we do know that interdimensional, quote, angelic beings do come down and heal people. It's interesting that in the Bible they've said things like, have no fear, you won't be harmed. Sounds a little familiar to what ETs often tell people. Yeah. So I don't know. There's more research definitely needed to be done on that. Okay, it's a good question though. All right, Joe Mapes, back to OBEs. Is it possible that, quote, shadow people could be us during an OBE or NDE?
No, they're second dimensional beings, literally second dimensional. They're dark, they're flat, and they have a MO, how they act and what they do. And if you get a report of one and you listen carefully to what they're saying, you can differentiate whether it's a ghost or a second dimensional shadow person. They're not evil. They're not anything. They're just beings that are, for some reason, walking around in the second dimension, and you're seeing them a certain way.
Oh my gosh, I love these questions. They're way far forward. I sure hope we can go a little bit over. Okay. I would say that it's possible to appear as an apparition to a person, and they might perceive it as something flitting by. But usually it would not be a shadow so much.
Right. Yeah. Apparitions are apparitions. Shadow. I had a shadow person dogging me for a while. I finally walked out one night in the middle of the bloody night and went after it. And it did not appreciate me very much for that. I got pictures of it. It shot me the bird. And I told it politely, I'm done with you. Leave me alone. Go away. I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't know why you're hanging around me. You can't talk to me. I know you can hear me, but I can't. You're not able to communicate with me. And if it's that bad, you have to give me some sort of a sign that I have some sort of answer for you. Otherwise, take a hike. And it finally got the message and left me alone after that. But yeah, it was determined, and it was matte, flat, black shadow person. It like sort of turned sideways, and I saw the fact that it was flat. Freaked me out. I was like, well, look at that, and when it put its hand up to do this, I saw it arm fold into a position like a paper doll. If you wanted his arm to go another way, you'd have to fold it up. It did that. I was like, this is totally crazy. And it did shoot me a bird. It shot a bird at me, and I was like, I'll have it your way. And I've seen plenty of ghosts, trust me. And when you're wide open psychic, you see them all the time. I've seen OBE types on the other side, and I've had full apparition ghosts come after me from time to time, or want to talk to me or whatever, get in my face. And there's a difference. There's 3 different phenomenons going on at the same time. Trust me, 3 different. Okay.
All righty. Okay. Ace of Hearts is making a confession. Recently stopped smoking weed. Congratulations, that's awesome. My dreams are flooding me so intensely. Is there any way to calm them? There is. First of all, this is good news. Dreams are easy access to who you really are. The majority of dreams, if you write them all down, you'll start to see what they represent. A lot of them will be your fears. A lot of them will be your desires. A lot of them will be venting of things you saw that day, sort of processing materials and experiences that you've had that day. This is good for you. Dreams are your stream of consciousness that's going on at all times. So what you want to do is just meditate and step back from that rapid stream of consciousness and do your best to just calm it. Don't cling to it. Don't try to block the dam, because it'll just float over you. This is something you just want to work on and get here's some things you can do. Don't procrastinate, get anything done, because that takes part of your stream of consciousness. Face your fears, because that's another thing that we're always thinking about. Realize your goals, your desires. If you have something you want to complete it. These are all things. If you have issues with anger or lust or greed or desire or gluttony or any of these so-called deadly sins, work on those. These are all things that take up your consciousness. So just work on yourself. This is a really wonderful opportunity for you. Dreams are not what people say they are. They're very important. They're your thoughts.
Right. You can also realize that your consciousness, who you really are, listens to what your brain is saying. There's communication going on between the two, and you just quit smoking. Your brain, your physical mind, is trying to tell you to start smoking again, and it will entice you to get upset, to be nervous, to be overwhelmed, to do all kinds of things to try to get you to pick one back up. And your consciousness is hearing it and listening to it. And what you can do is, because you're who you are, your consciousness, you can give yourself in meditation a hypnotic order to tell your physical mind to it's okay. In other words, pat yourself in the back, drink a big glass of grapefruit juice, grape juice, like a quarter of a cup, about 3 hours before you go to bed, because that helps reduce your nicotine attacks. It has a chemical reaction in your brain, and make sure that when you go to bed, you're nice and warm and snug as a bug in a rug, and remember that you're safe, and really pat and mollify your physical mind using your consciousness, because your consciousness is literally alerting you to the fact that your brain is trying to make you turn around the wrong way. Use this as an exercise, not of control, but of healing the urge that your physical mind wants you to use.
All right. I just heard back from our producer. She says, go as long as you want.
Cool. Okay.
So we might have a little bit of a longer show than normal this time, but going to say one more time that we are doing a book giveaway, 3 winners. You each get one guess only, of the number between 1 and 1,000. There's one winning number. Got some amazing guesses so far, but there's still time. There's another 20 minutes or so to get your guess in. One guess, number between 1 and 1,000, and you win a copy of UFOs over Nevada. If you already have that book, or you're dead set on getting another one of my books, that is certainly doable. All right. That was the last announcement for that before we do the winner. Okay. Congratulations, Ace of Hearts. I'm so happy for you. You're on your path. Do the OBEs. That will help you calm down that crazy dream state.
Yeah.
Question for Dolly. Dolly, does Talata listen and comment during these open mic nights?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes in my head. If you see me do a 180-degree turn and I get this weird look on my face because I'm listening to him, that's it. And if I suddenly out of nowhere bring something up that I wasn't going to talk about, that's why. Yeah. It's not like I'm channeling him or anything. He literally hears me think, I hear him think, and he will interrupt my thought process to tell me something, even during the shows. He does it when we're talking to Preston too. It's like, oh, Jesus. Okay. He shut me down a couple of times and made me tell Preston things. It's like, okay, all right.
Yeah, and it's funny because his wording is different than Dolly's, and his choice of words, his vocabulary. It's funny when that happens.
Yeah.
Okay. But, we all have a connection to Source and to more advanced beings. So you can just close your eyes if that makes you more comfortable and ask questions. The trick is listening, quieting your mind and listening.
Yeah.
Because you can absolutely get answers. I've 100% done it. Okay. Going to do our best with this one. Lick in them super sour. Liking in them super sour. Hi, Hi guys, quick question. My mother and I saw a bright orange UFO back in 1991, and a bright red ball came out of the bottom very slowly, like gravity didn't exist. Any idea what the ball was? Very hard to say because we weren't there. You would probably know best. I would guess that it was a probe, maybe?
Tell me what the shape of the UFO was. I want to know. You
All
need
right.
to put it back up. In other words, liken them super sour right back and tell me. I want to know what the UFO itself, not just the light, but did it have a shape? Did you see a shape? And I
All
might
right.
be able to give you some insights.
All right. Well, hopefully you're listening to this, liking them super sour, and I will jump forward
Yeah.
if you put that up. But I'm gonna right now go to the next one, and I'll leave that one starred, just in case. Wyatt Borden, what are your thoughts on the overlap between alien UFO phenomena and other paranormal activity like cryptids? Is it the location or a trickster behind it all? All of this plays a role. Even ETs have a sense of humor. I looked at a deep dive into the connection between UFOs and Bigfoot and finally came to the conclusion that Bigfoot are sentient beings like us and ET is contacting them. So this link is perfectly explainable if Bigfoot is being contacted by ET, much in the same way we are. As far as the connection to paranormal activity, I've gotten a bunch of cases of this where people will have contact and they come back and machines don't work around them. They turn off light bulbs. They start having poltergeist-like activity. They start having abilities like mediumship and healing and will spontaneously levitate. Jacques Vallée had a couple of cases like that. Happened to Whitley Strieber. There's quite a few cases of that. And it took me a long time to unpack, but I think I've come to my current assessment. I'll say it because I don't know. But having heard this so many times, we had Irina Scott on the show, and she talked about this. She had an encounter. She came back. Books were flying off the shelves. It's you doing it. This is you. This is your psychic abilities ramped up, escalated, in tune. So suddenly, because you're dealing with people, ETs, who can do telepathy, who can levitate, who are on that level. And when you ever hang out with someone, you kind of rise up to their level or perhaps fall down. I think that's what's going on. Ultimately, because I've got so many cases of this, it's just your own natural abilities being activated.
Yeah. I want to bring up a question that got because we're talking about Bigfoot. Astrid Gooder, she said, my question got skipped. Would you say that Bigfoot is ET? No. No. Bigfoot is from here. They've been here for a long time. They belong here, and yeah, they're not ET. ET knows who they are. They've had contact with ETs, but they are not ET. They're their own thing here. Okay.
Okay. How do I ask a question? You print it in chat is how you would do it.
Put it in caps.
That definitely helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Let me go back. I'm trying to keep up with the numbers again. And all right. Let's see. Thank you, Little Wave. That's very kind of you. Truly appreciate it.
Very much so. Thank you.
Let me see. Oguzan. Just wondering if Skinny Bob is a real gray being, Dolly. Thank you. You remember Skinny Bob, right?
Is he the one
The
that was
video.
taught?
He's the video, and it's yeah. I personally don't think it's real. I know that there's a couple of contactees out there who are convinced it is because it looked just like what they've seen. That doesn't necessarily make it real.
No.
I think it's very clever disinformation, them showing something that's real but isn't real, much like the alien autopsy, which did happen, but that whole film was faked. I think that's pretty much been concluded.
Yes.
But, so So it's a weird yes/no answer.
Not an ET from the future come back into time here now. No, Skinny Bob does not. It's not real. It's fake. It's manufactured. Okay.
And so is my answer to this one, Wyatt. Opinions on the whole dull space story. For those of you who don't know it, apparently our military in the Four Corners area of New Mexico came upon an underground base filled with gray ETs, and there was a war, and some of the 50 people were killed, and blah, blah, blah. No, disinformation, in my opinion. So straight up BS, as you said, Wyatt. I think Dolly would agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not going to put words into your mouth.
It's meant to scare the what out of you.
All right. Preston, can you give me the links again to 2 specific contact cases you presented 2 years ago? Not without more information. 2 children back in the 1940s, I think in Sweden. If you can give, email me, and if you can give me a few more details, I'm almost certain I can find it. I've got a really good memory for the stuff, about UFOs. So yeah, email me, prestonufo@gmail.com. All right, moving along. Raya is asking, what is the most recent case with ET? Weirdly, the most recent one that I have is my own, where I was taken on board, though I will say a guy from England, Gary, just after that, said he had a gray appear in his doorway. He was really mad. He doesn't really like his encounters. They've been very scary for him. Yeah. He contacted me recently, about last month. He said, you know what? They haven't come since that time. More confirmation of what Dolly's saying. He says, weirdly, I kind of miss them. Isn't that weird? I'm like, no, actually it's not, because I understand.
I understand, yeah.
2022 thereabouts was the last time I got any what I would call onboard cases or direct humanoid cases.
It was in May of 2022.
So I know there are people still in contact, and I do agree with that. People are in telepathic contact, and people might even see apparitions, or what we would think of as apparitions of grays and ETs. But as far as being taken on board, maybe through the OBE state, you could go there. They don't really abduct people OBE. Yeah. I haven't really heard that.
I want to make something perfectly clear too. There are no ET like grays or Nordic types or any of them. Nobody's on the face of this planet. They left. And you can imagine why. If we've got all this coming at us and they're just as fallible as we are, they can die too. If something bad happens to the body, they're not hanging around for it. They left. I'm one of the few idiots that stayed behind, just saying. But yeah.
Yeah, some people thinking that the Skinny Bob video is real. I don't know. I can only give you my assessment. I wasn't there. So maybe it is. Don't know. It would be really nice to know a lot of stuff, but we're dealing with a cover-up that's brutal and well-funded, and a deliberate disinformation campaign that makes it very difficult to get at the truth. So perhaps you're right. I don't know. Okay. 100% yes to this question, Carl. Do you think many humans have had contact that they don't remember? Yeah, I do. There was a guy that in one of Bud Hopkins' books, the only clue he had was a feeling about driving down this one highway where he would always get anxiety. And it got to be bad enough where he avoided that highway. And started to get ridiculous because he had to travel it. So he went under hypnosis. Not something I would normally recommend under that circumstance. But if something is causing you anxiety, yes. And it was. And he uncovered a onboard experience. Steve Kilburn was his pseudonym. His real name, he came forward as Michael Rashad, I think. I met him actually at a MUFON conference. He came up to me and says, do you know who I am? And I looked at him, I'm like, I do. I recognize you. He spoke at a MUFON meeting once. He said his encounter was really unpleasant, but he says, one good thing about it, they gave me the ability to heal people of cancer, and I've got some testimonials. I'm like, wow, here we have another person talking about this, how their encounter was very scary for them, and ultimately he felt it was benevolent and it helped him a lot. Yeah, a lot of people, I think, have had contact, and it's or not to remember or don't want to remember. The time may come when we'll have a sudden insight, because that happens all the time. All right. Don't know if you want to comment on that, Dolly. Otherwise, I'll just move along.
Nope.
All right. Here we go. Raya for another one. Thank you both for sharing your experiences and knowledge. You're welcome. Question: any info about the inner Earth civilizations and their interactions with crust humans? I've been called a lot of things. Never have I been called a crust human. The only information I have about, quote, inner Earth civilizations would be reptilians. It's not a hollow Earth. I think our science is advanced enough to absolutely exclude that as a possibility. But in terms of there being an enormous number of cave systems, 100%. In terms of there being a lot of unexplored areas on our planet, 100%. In terms of reptilians being from our planet, I think so. So that's how I would answer that. Ollie?
Yeah, there are no crust humans, and there's no such thing as inner Earth. We're a solid planet all the way out to the crust. Caves are abundant on this planet, and they're in areas where they can go pretty deep. Some of them are in the state that we're in near Tennessee that go a mile down deep, a little over a mile. When you go into them, the pressure becomes so great, you start to feel the pressure and it starts to hurt you. That's the problem with going down deep. We are human beings and we can only take so many psi coming and going, and that, there's no inner Earth, no physical being that could be alive in this dimension on this planet could go to inner Earth. They would die. So no inner Earth, just cave dwellers. That's it.
Yep, I agree. All right. I can't pronounce that name. This isn't really a question, but I thought I'd pop it up. Managed to catch you live. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Can't wait for the next in-depth onboard experience. Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't read that name, but appreciate it. Okay, good question from Little Wave. And I'll be announcing the winners to the book thing shortly. What do you think of parallel universes, and how do you feel about traveling to an alternate universe to improve one's life? I was interested in that before, but now seems important to face. I am not so sure that I would put that way. I think we are eternal beings and live in an infinite universe. And perhaps there are what we would call other universes that are connected to this one. But I'm not sure that I would call it parallel universe. But I do think we will have every opportunity to do everything pretty much we can conceive of at some point in our eternal existence. So I'm not sure if that answers your questions, but that's how I would put it.
I don't think you would call it parallel universe. It would be a multiverse. And there is such a thing as multiple universes outside of our own. And it's complicated to think about. And maybe one of these days I'll sit down and get Preston to write about it. It would take me too long to explain it to you. But yeah, there's outside of this universe, there are other universes, multi-universes. Okay. But go there. No offense. You can't go there. In the condition you're in right now, nope, you cannot travel there. Okay, go ahead.
All right, there's an ET on your shirt, Dolly.
Yes, I know.
Okay. All right, after this question, I'm going to announce the winners to our book contest. I think I've got them right here. All right. This is from Margaret Bailey, and this is a wonderful and very important question. What steps can we do to raise our own conscious awareness? Do you want to start with that, Dolly, or shall I?
Well, I'll do it real quick, and then you can go deeper if you'd like. To know that you are conscious, You can sample your own consciousness while we speak here. Okay. I want you all to close your eyes, and I want you to see what's going on behind what you can't see. Are you still thinking? Everything around you is not visible to you, but you still hear and you still feel and you still can touch yourself and you know you're alive. Okay. Now, here's how you know you're conscious. When they take you, and I'm going to have surgery, so I'm going to feel this week. When they give you something like propofol and they shut your physical mind down, your consciousness is still aware of what's going on. And I've proven this to myself because I can OBE during surgery, and I usually walk out just before they knock my physical body out, and I stand and watch and see what they're doing. That's what I prove to myself. You can kind of do that as well, intending before you go into meditation to explore the reality of your own consciousness and have it give you some sort of a clue or a sign or show you the way to see that it exists, that you exist. One of the reasons that going out of body or doing OBEs is so important, because that shows you, it teaches you your consciousness itself, and you are aware 24/7 no matter what. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Hold on. I was just preparing to. Yeah, I mean, meditate. I'd say that was the simple answer to that. And work on yourself in any way you can. And by that I mean exercising, being a good person, connecting with nature, hanging out with people who you admire. By that I mean, if you've got people who are causing you problems, do not associate with them. Music, laughter, all of these things can help you with your own abilities. But ultimately, it's you, and it's paying attention. Pay attention not only to what's going on around you in a very critical way, and work on your memory. You should be able to remember your prior day in detail, what you had for breakfast, the day before that. Really work on your memory. But really relaxing and having fun and paying as much attention to what's going on inward as outward. And ultimately, meditation, just an hour a day of sitting there and just relaxing your mind and body is a quick, fast track to raising your awareness. All right, and now it's time, drum roll, to announce the winners of our book giveaway. We asked you to guess a number, or psychically view a number between 1 and 1,000. 3 winners of the book UFOs over Nevada, and I am delighted to see some familiar names. Sorry, the Owl Man, you got edged out by 1 number, but our winners are Joe with 309. The winning number, I should say, is 299. 299 is the winning number. Our winners are Joe, 309. Thank you, Joe. Olivia Escamilla, 320. And previous winner, or multi-winner, I think, Bob Thorson, who must be really psychic. So those are our winners. You came within 10 points and 20, 21 points for 21 numbers and 28. So those are our 3 winners. I will put that in the notes in the show in case for whatever reason you had to drop out and couldn't watch the end. But you guys are the winners. Joe.
Congratulations.
UMB, Olivia Escamilla, Bob Thorson. Thanks for playing, guys. For those who didn't win, we will be doing more Q&As, so don't be disappointed. And absolutely, that was all kinds of fun. I really love doing the book giveaways.
Please send Preston Preston knows Bob's, but the other 2, please send your email to Preston or your address, street address at prestonufo@gmail.com.
Yeah, there it is on the bottom of the screen. And yeah, you too, Bob, send me your address, because that way I don't have to dig for it. Um, but yeah, congratulations, guys. I'll get that book out to you right away. If you already have it, you're free to pick another. Okay, all kinds of fun that was. And we're going to go on for a little while longer because we're allowed to, but we're not going to go for another hour.
No.
All right.
I think we have like 10 minutes, 10 or 15. That's it.
Do you think dreams involving UFOs and entities are actual real experiences? Yes and no. I think that sometimes when a person has an encounter, they remember it as a dream when it was in fact a real event. Someone can have a real encounter and then later dream about it. So in effect, that is the memory of a real event. Then there are dreams which are just about UFOs and such and are not necessarily real. But so there's kind of three categories there that I think we're working with. Sometimes, yeah, it can be absolutely a real event. You just thought it was a dream because it's very hard to process these sometimes. What do you think, Dolly?
I agree with you 100%. Our physical mind is capable of producing all kinds of weird stuff when you're in REM sleep. And then when you're out of REM sleep, your physical mind, your consciousness is remembering stuff with you. And it goes OBE every night. And that's when your physical mind, if it's not occupied with REM trying to store stuff, it'll remember or see where you're going. And that has to do with lucidity. If you're having lucid dreams, know the difference between a lucid dream or just a fantasy dream, a non-real dream, or a memory dream. There really are three categories of it. Preston's right.
All right. Sorry, I'm just working there. Okay. This is from Jordy Dan. More info coming out about direct energy weapons being used by nations to bring down craft. Is there a red line before the NHI take action? Okay. All right, Dolly. Okay. Hold on, Jordy. Dolly's got some good information on this. And for those of you who are meeting Dolly for the first time, she is absolutely extensive contactee and also has inside information having an end to the military-industrial complex. So her answers are not speculation here.
I'm also a trained ET pilot. I can pilot craft. Okay, first things first, ET or not here. The government wants you to believe that they can create these situations and they're using their back engineered stuff to do so. It's called a false flag. It is impossible to bring an ET craft down under any circumstances. It's also impossible to destroy one on purpose. The only reason ETs have crashed is because of anomalies, like everything in the third dimension decapitates. And they either have a physical problem on board or they hit an anomaly or some weird thing, energy hits them on the energy line. Like as a pilot, I know that I'm repelling positive and negatively charged lines coming from our core. And if I don't switch over instantly, in other words, I can lose cohesion while I'm flying and then suddenly drop. And if I'm not fast enough, I can come in contact with the ground really fast. There's another way to go, and that is if the craft itself develops an internal problem that actually blows up part of their energy source, and it can bore a hole in it, and it'll go down as well. Nothing on this earth that man has technology come up with, including lasers, can pop one out of the sky and knock to the ground. It's impossible. And there's three reasons why. First of all, they're 100% psychic. They hear everything you think. There's no time and distance between psychic ability. In other words, you've got a bunch of psychics on top of that craft, in the craft, and they are listening to you on the ground. They hear everything you say outside of real time. In other words, they know before you even think it that it's coming. That's how fast they are at doing this. They can outfly, outmaneuver, outmanage every single craft on this planet, including what's sitting on the ground coming at them, including radars. There's no such thing as a scalar weapon that can take them out. It will not work. It's ridiculous to me. One of the reasons that ET is not here is because everybody here has lost their minds with all this stuff. They're doing crazy stuff. It's not just the fact that they can't fly here. It was a good decision on both fronts. Would ET ever get mad at us? No. They are going to leave us to our own stupidity and let us either fix ourselves or go straight to nothingness. Take your pick. We're responsible for everything that's happened on this planet. We are responsible for how we conduct ourselves. We're responsible for our hate and our, everything, and they have nothing to do with that. They've given us a chance to elevate ourselves. They've asked us to think about things. They've asked us to consider more than ourselves. They've asked us to stop using technology as a weapon and all kinds of stuff, and we haven't done it. So we're on our own. You can't piss an ET off. They don't have it in them to be pissed off. I can tell you at point blank, I've been with them most of my life. I've never seen one get angry, never. It's not in them to do it at all. We're the only ones with that issue. We're the only ones. I come off as very strong, opinionated, that kind of thing. But if you start flailing at me or doing something stupid, I will try to talk you out of it. And if I can't talk you out of it, I'll try to get away from you because it's not worth my time to deal with you. The only time you'll see me become protective is if you come at me and there's nothing I can do but protect myself. And there's a huge distinction in that because ET can't be cornered like that. So they have no need to protect themselves from you. Their craft do not carry weapons. The only thing that's dangerous about an ET craft is the energy that it uses. And yeah, it's deadly dangerous to us if we are stupid enough to try to approach it or get under it or use it the wrong way. And back engineering is one way to do that. I hope
All right. Yeah, I think you cleared it up, and I'm going to 100% agree with that. I heard a major researcher who we all know say something like the ET are going to be fed up and going to take action. Dolly and I looked at each other, and she actually said, "Told you, that these people are going to turn. They're changing their tune." Yeah, no, that's not going to happen, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew. Dolly, why did you ground yourself from flying? Weren't thinking clearly that day, were you? Didn't have your coffee.
I made the decision about 2015, and they took 8 months, literally 8 months to try to talk me out of it, okay? And I was determined. So then they started giving me things that I needed to know to protect myself while I come out with this because I knew I was going to ground myself. And the reason is simple. I am a human being just like you. I might be a hybrid, but I'm still a human being. I was born here. I live here. I love everybody here. I don't care what you look like, who you are, why you are. If you're on this planet, we all deserve to care enough about one another to care. And my mission is this. I would not want anybody to die stupid on this planet and not know the truth. That's why I grounded myself. I'm not stupid myself, and I have plans to survive long enough for them to come back and pick me back up so that I can do what I got to do. But yeah, I'm grounded right now, and it's because of the truth needs to be told. The truth needs to be heard. Y'all need to be given a chance to think this through for yourselves, and that's why I'm doing it.
So yeah, the short answer I would say is it was an altruistic decision to reach out to others and hopefully give them at least a lifeline. All right. Here's a good question, and I'm really glad you asked it, Ace of Hearts, because this is something Dolly and I have talked about a lot. I had some real misconceptions about gravity. So the next time you have contact, will you ask if there are planets that spin faster, and is that why they have lower gravity? Gravity has many factors. Yeah.
The bigger the planet, the slower the rotation and less gravity.
Which flies in the face of what we've been taught in schools. The gravity has multiple factors. It's your distance from the sun. It's distance from other planets. We now know that there's electricity is what's really playing a real strong role here.
Yeah.
And in my book, Human Levitation, there was reports of the French, who really were the first ones who did a lot of work on this subject, electrifying animals and objects and making them lighter This is repetitive scientific experiments, which no one's doing them right now. But it's definitely connected to electromagnetism.
Yeah. A faster spinning planet causes heat. Look at Mercury. It's really close to the sun, but that's not the whole problem. The whole problem is that planet goes and it takes more heat on that way. It gets hotter from the core coming out. No, it has very big gravity on Mercury.
Okay, well, now we're going to go through these last ones as quickly as we can because we do have to, at some point, call it a show. Okay, let me see. Is there a federation of planets?
No, not at all. Federation is an English word. It's our word. It's a Star Trek word, and we're paradolizing stuff, or anthropomorphizing ET when we say stuff like that. No, there's no such thing. That's not how they operate.
Yeah, I agree. No federalized system, no money, nothing like that. No kings, no queens, despite what a few contactees have said. No presidents, anything like that. All right. Great question from Becky Duncan. What are human origins and were ETs evolved?
Involved. Yeah, ETs involved. We are related to them. They are our progenitors, meaning our parents way back. And even recently, I mean, I'm hybrid. I got some recent genes coming in to me from them. We're all part of them. We come from them. Never doubt it for a minute. You have all the same genes they do.
All right. 100% agree. We did not evolve here on Earth. All right. Helena, an unusual question. Have you guys heard of animals on other planets that change form according to their emotional state?
No.
Octopus can kind of show fear.
It's like a cuttlefish.
They're not changing form. They're changing their color. Yeah, we change color according to our emotional state.
Right. We blush, white, we turn beet red, things like that. But no, they can't change the form. No.
Yeah. Do you think our government has alien technology? Yes.
Has back engineered it? Yes. Is it comparable to ETs? No, but they're trying.
All right. Leah is asking about the use of hydrogen peroxide, entertainment purposes only. Contact Dolly directly because we can't dispense advice.
Do not use that. Please go find a medical book and read this stuff for yourself. If you're going to listen to what everybody else says, you're not teaching yourself a thing. Go find a medical book of humans, okay? You can get them all the time. I have one in my house. All nurses have Merck manuals and everything. Please do not do that without the advice of real medical knowledge, okay?
Okay, what about avian or cat-like beings? I've got cases of cat-like beings, and you talk about the Anunnaki as well, right?
Yeah, we all have those genes. Did you realize that in your gene pool, in your genetics, you're carrying avian genetics, you're carrying feline and equine and canine and everything. You have all the genetics of all life ever, including grass, bananas, bonobos. You got everything, all of it. So yes, there are some beings that look more like cats, and some.
And the cat-like beings have fur. No, they don't like to let you pet them. I interviewed one lady. She finally asked them, and they relented, and that was it.
Yeah,
she got one pet on the cat being. All right. Do ETs get divorced or end contracts in their groups or families?
No.
Yeah,
they don't get married. There's no
marriage license?
No.
Okay. What about blue-skinned beings? Are there such a thing?
Not like you think of it. They have some of the grays have a blue cast in their skin. It's like Mama has a really grayish type of skin, but in the wrinkles of her knuckles and her elbows, and even in her face, and where a wrinkle would be on your body, she has a slight blue cast to it. It's very unusual. Even at her wrists, she has a slight blue cast color in the skin. And I said, "What's up with that?" And she said, "Well, it's like you're really tan on one side and you're white as a sheet on the other, right?" And I said, "Yeah." She says, "Well, that's the blue of my gray." I was like, "Oh, That makes sense. Okay. And some of the grays, depending on which ethnicity they are, look a little bit more blue than gray. Okay. They're no blue humanoid. I mean, like us. No, no,
Go Oot. I asked 2 questions. You ignored both. I am going in order, so if you'd like to repost them, I will. I haven't seen them. Oh, wait a second. Yours is about 4 down. I see one. So I'm getting to it. Okay. We're going to go through these fast because, it's kind of
we're pushing it
for us to end. The power and meaning of the spiral. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. I'll have to look that up.
Are you talking about what
the
spiral are you
spiral
talking
symbol? It's an ancient symbol that we see all over the place, a spiral.
Oh, people have used that for a long time. It goes back to cave people. It's just you see the universe, and they see they had better less light pollution than we did. They could see the spiral arm of the Milky Way. They could see how water would spiral. I mean, a spiral is a super meaning to people for different reasons. There's thousands of reasons for the spiral. Okay,
that makes sense, actually. All right, we'll again go through this really fast. Would you consider the astral realms to be a different dimension? If not, what is the relationship there? Yeah, we talked about this. It's actually, what did you call it? The in-between place, or the outside of time kind of?
Yeah, it's outside of time and space. It's not in the dimension per se, but it's almost part of source. Source is huge, and it invokes everything. But the dimensions are source as well. Okay.
Why don't ETs allow their pictures to be taken? Well, they do and have, but generally they are somewhat camera shy. There was the Kimbergas turkey footage, and the photographic record of UFOs is. Yeah.
It's really hard to get a picture of an actual craft in the sky. They have to turn the emitters a certain way so that you can actually see the craft. Kimbergas, we were up in the sky, and we had the emitters so that you could see a lot of the ship. We didn't let you see the whole entirety of it, but there were a couple points where there was a lot of moon one night, and we gave you a really good glimpse. Okay, and we did let you see. It just depends on what they're doing and how close they are to you, because most cameras won't work within a certain distance of ET. They'll knock your cameras out, all the power.
All right, that's all the time you have to answer that. Polly last show said the mantis needed her. Can you explain this? Polly probably could explain better than
the mantis needed her. Can you explain this before?
Explain this better. Yeah, Polly, I wouldn't say they needed her. They were working with her.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah.
Preston, can you tell the story of the giant, please? It's hilarious. Yeah, Dolly took me on an OBE adventure back in time and into a giant cavern, and there must have been 4 or 5 giants there who were, I'm going to say, 15 feet tall.
Easily, yeah.
And were dressed in furs and had some fairly intricate metalwork in terms of wrists and armbands and like clubs. I mean, they had some technology there that was both primitive and in some ways really advanced.
Yeah.
But they looked right at me, and Dolly was standing behind me, and one darn giant looked at me and came at me with his club. Frankly, thankfully I'm agile out of body, and I quickly hopped to the side. But this guy saw me and he kept coming at me. And so I'm darting around, running around like a crazy maniac, and Dolly finally got a hold of me and pulled me out.
Yeah, he would never have connected with you, by the way. He'd have gone right through you. You would have been a ghost to him at that point. It was scared the hell out of him, but he thought you were real at first. Like, what is that?
Yeah, but even when you had, I had an astral lion attack me, and even though I know I'm not going to be hurt, when you see something coming at you, your first instinct is to run.
This is true. Do your duty. Yep, we all do it. Yep.
All right, I got your question. Go 0 ot. What's the nature of the relationship and expertise and hierarchy between mantoids and short and tall grays?
There is no hierarchy. Everybody works, everybody's on the same level. Whatever you choose to do with your life, you do. You're part of working amongst others with the same mission, and everybody joins with everybody else in a very open and easygoing way. The hierarchy would be that if when you're wide open psychic, everybody hears everybody at the same time. We all know the same thing all at once. But every now and then something might get said that it would take somebody who's an elder way above us, way more knowledge than us, to give an open this is the way you should consider doing this and why, and they give you the information that you need. It's like trying to get a download only you've got an elder right there standing there looking at you going, this is the way it needs to be, and they impress you with the reality of it, the truth of it. That's the only hierarchy they have.
Yeah, I've never heard of them having a hierarchy. All right, we're going to wind down here. We've got just a few more questions, and we'll go through them quite quickly. Beth Noyes, have you ever been able to look into a mirror when in astral? It's wild. Yes, I have. The first few times I didn't see myself, and then I did. And one time my reflection changed to all these different people. I'm like, oh my God, is that a woman? And I'm like, that's me. It was bizarre. And once I held up a mirror and I was able to regress myself to a little boy, and I got to see, because you can actually create a mirror in the astral. So yeah, there's all kinds of wild things you can do.
Yep.
Okay. Timbo, what's this place of golden white light where joy and acceptance just permeates everything? I went there, I asked OBE about 15 years ago. A higher realm. It's absolutely, when you're permeated by joy and acceptance, you're connecting to God and the All Mind and divine light.
Or in the source, yeah.
Which is very cool, actually. All right. I'm going through the last 10 questions here. I've always been scared when I'm raising up and it pulls me back. That was years ago. I haven't been able to get close since. Get over the fear. Fear will
You're
pull
not
you
gonna
back faster than anything.
right. You won't die. Don't worry about it. Let go.
All right. Our dear sweet Joyce, prior guest on the show, says, I haven't had an OB, but I've bilocated. Are there similarities to these two experiences?
Yes.
It is essentially an OBE.
You send your consciousness out and you feel full. You feel corporeal when you do it. It's really weird. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. There are people throughout history who have been able to do it really well.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we not being naive in believing that all non-human intelligent ETs are benevolent? No, we've never said all ETs are benevolent. All ETs visiting here do not have an agenda of harming, hurting, scaring people. Not to say that some people don't have negative encounters because they're traumatized and they're scared to death and this wasn't fun for them. So if they want to call it a negative encounter, even though they weren't technically hurt, yes.
Yeah.
They're perfectly allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're coming here to take over our planet. Even Carla Turner, who really didn't like ET, said for sure they're not here to take over.
Right. And they're not non-human. They're all human. We're all related to one another. Never forget that. We're all human.
And there are other beings out there who are at the same level of evolution we are. Do I think they're visiting here?
They're at, and no, they're not coming here.
So,
The
yeah.
ETs we made are billions of years in advancement of you. And think about it critically. If you were going to be that intelligent and that advanced, don't you think you would have lost the stupidity? Think about it.
And that's a controversial topic, certainly, because there are researchers out there who are saying, they're bad. We have a lot of my labs going on, and contactees are especially vulnerable to it. So some of that is also not ETs, but it is happening. So we have to be very careful. But I would encourage everyone to do their own due diligence and come up to your own answers, because no one has all the answers. We all have to find our own pathway through this universe. All right. I think we just have 3 more. Do you guys experience repetitive numbers? Occasionally. I'm not a huge, wow. I think it's just sort of a synchronicity type thing.
It's you paying attention to something that has a meaning to you alone.
All right, D-Man, what do you think is happening on Skinwalker Ranch? Scientists came out recently and he said, I think what's going on there is government psychotronics. That's what I think is going on there, honestly. They're testing their technology to see what they can kind of experience they can give a person. I don't know that there's anything that's woo-woo about the ranch itself. My assessment. I did watch the show. Okay. Let's see. I think that's just about it. Do I have any more? Give me 1 second, Dolly.
Okay.
We already answered that one. We answered that one. Question. When will the conditions change so ETs can return? And we have one question after this.
It will change after our solar system finishes all the polar changes all the way through it, and the sun calms down, and that electromagnetic current sheet finishes passing through us. It's a big deal.
All right. You can also break a mirror in the astral over and over again. I've done that actually. Don't know why that makes me laugh, but yeah, I've gone on destructive rampages while OBE.
Can I tell you a secret? I used to break glass all the time when I was a kid because I was trying to do it here like I did it there, and it didn't ever work. My mother went nuts. I'm not kidding. Just smash them. Okay. We can go back together. No.
Okay, last question is from Mystic Guy, and you're asking a question that I am not equipped to answer because I wasn't there. I read the book Project Serpo. Thought it was a really good book. Do I think it happened? Me personally, no. It doesn't match up with a single contactee account that I've ever read about. And there's some elements in there that just don't jibe. My assessment, take it or leave it. It's interesting. It's worth reading. It's a good book. But it's not how ETs travel. It's how that book is described. So that is its main flaw in my mind. I don't think Dolly's even read that book, but I don't think you would like it, Dolly. I'm going to be honest. Okay, I guess that's it. We've gone 30 minutes longer than we normally do.
Yes.
So we
producer's going to be upset. 30 minutes. Okay. Yep. So
I thank you guys so much for joining us, each and every one of you. We truly appreciate it, especially staying on for an extra long show. We love the Q&As. We always have fun. Couldn't do it without you. Really want to give a special note of thanks to all of you who are able to support our show. Sunny Burnett, we truly appreciate it. Olivia Escamilla. Oh, you want a book, so that works out.
Yeah,
that's very cool. Christopher Harmon, thank you. Namaste. We absolutely love you and adore you. Oguzan, very cool. Little Wave. But all of you, thanks so much. Always such a fun show with all of you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Dolly, I guess it's time to take us out.
Thank you all very much for coming to our show tonight and visiting with us. Interesting to hear your questions, and I hope I helped you with, and Preston as well, give you some good answers to look up and verify. We're coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans in Louisiana at the United Public Radio Network at 107.7 FM and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast. We're on Facebook, we're on Roku, we're on Rumble, and we're on YouTube. Y'all go have a great week, and I will see you when I'm better. I love you. Night night.